After 40 years, the Pumpernickel podcast has returned.
Pumpernickel!
We back, baby. It's been 4 weeks?
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
4 weeks for the regular crew. How's it been for you, Eddie?
It has been like 2 months more than that, since Eddie has been on the podcast.
Right, so there was unemployment going on. There was life.
Yeah, so you had plenty of free time.
That was not a good excuse, bro. You walked right into that one.
well, when there's unemployment, you don't have money for gas, guys. And
you are planning vacations to New York.
I'd never.
And on that note, let's continue on the rest of the podcast.
You also have 3 friends who would happily come pick you up and drive you here.
Exactly, if that was necessary.
It's a Mexican pride thing, is what it is.
There it is.
That's a bullshit excuse thing, is what it is.
Exactly. Whenever it's a bullshit excuse, he runs to the Mexican pride.
It's a machismo thing. You wouldn't get it.
Yeah,
it's like
you don't understand. It's a cultural
file
thing.
cabinets and it's like, excuses, Mexican pride.
Mexican American.
No
hablo inglés.
Yeah,
no hablo inglés.
Right. It's like, bro, you're American.
No say.
No say it.
Oh man, that's good.
Yeah.
They execute
We're
me
back.
in the country. All right, we're back.
That's right. We're back. We're back for.
No, we're not doing that.
Well, in today's news.
All right, it's the squad, man. It's Elvin,
Nathaniel,
Eddie,
Black Mike.
The originals are back. We're missing the original White Mike. But
he left us.
He left. He abandoned the team to go on his own. He's the what's a good music simile for this one?
I don't know,
but he
Beats me.
He enjoys the dip.
Who?
I'm saying beats me.
Oh, there's an Easy E, and I was like, don't do that.
Oof.
That's a hard line to be putting on him.
And on to a couple of views of a slice of news. Now, normally we'd say 4.
A couple of news on a slice of news?
Slice. Thanks, Nate. Nate's always in the background waiting for an opportunity.
No, I mean, yeah, it happens. We all mess up.
Exactly.
I said earlier today, I said Leviathan.
Exactly.
But that's just because, my accent, the
that's
Latino
just
thing.
Okay.
No.
It escapes me sometimes,
My accent and the Latino thing.
Yeah, some words are hard to say.
You have the same accent I do.
Exactly. You sound like Nate.
No, some words are hard to say, even today. The English.
You speak English. Your native language is English.
Your native language is fucking English now. What are you talking about?
Spanish.
No, you swear you Mexican, bro. You Mexican American, bro.
No, he's American Mexican.
Ooh. He's not wrong though. Don't you wear them Salt Life shirts?
Ooh.
That's Mexican. No. That's American Mexican. There it is. Eddie is now American Mexican.
We're gonna let that slide, right?
Yeah, we're gonna let that one slide. You don't like that one. He gonna be up at night tonight, staring out the window. Yeah, what am I?
Loss of identity in this melting pot that is you and
I see.
You sing Jimmy Cricket songs?
Back at me.
Yeah, I'll just you got me fading in and out.
Right, from the
zooms into my face.
One teardrop.
Yeah. It slowly falls onto the carpet.
Yeah.
As I gaze out into the sky. Yeah.
What have I?
What have I become?
I'm not even drinking tequila. I'm just drinking wine,
right.
some man. Oh.
You're drinking craft beer like a white man.
I do like IPAs.
A couple of views on a slice of news.
And now let's get into the news.
Let's get straight into the news.
For anybody that plays video games out there, if you happen to have been under a rock and missed the Borderlands 3 official trailer announcement, that happened on Thursday, and it looks phenomenal. Yeah. If you haven't seen any of the trailers, they're on YouTube. Go watch them. They're fucking excellent, and I'm super excited.
And go play them games, man.
Yeah, go play them games. The Handsome Collection is like $20 right now. It's 2 games and all the DLC for both of them. And on the 3rd, they're doing an HD update for everything. Also releasing Borderlands 1 as a remastered collection. So the whole series is coming out in HD and it's going to be phenomenal. And the Handsome Collection is $20. So that's thousands of hours of gameplay for $20. So
billions of guns.
Billions of guns.
Billions?
Yes.
Literally.
They have the Guinness World Record for the most guns put in a game.
That's a lot of guns.
That's a lot of guns.
That's like when Neo asked for lots of guns.
And
the guns appeared,
That's this game.
So what do you need? Guns.
If
Lots of guns.
every Mr. Smith had 1 million guns, then it'd be the guns in this.
It'd be the guns,
That's a lot of guns.
That's a lot of guns.
Is it that many different guns?
Yes.
Unique guns.
I'm assuming lots of these are fake.
It's unique combinations of guns. So like guns will have different stock or different whatever, but it'll be like different stats and different things.
Okay.
So it's not like it's not like a Smith and Wesson whatever, and then like you know what I mean, and then like another gun.
So they're breaking into like the Moonraker laser guns.
I mean,
yeah, it's
well, there's fake guns too.
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah, no, like this.
Okay.
Dude, they've got like in the trailer.
Not to spoiler because I was gonna say it too.
This is the Borderlands 3 trailer. They've got like guns with legs now, so like it's
what?
It's a gun with tiny legs.
It shoots legs?
No, that'd be fire. It
doesn't
might shoot legs.
It shoots shoes.
Yeah, it shoots shoes.
Just like Ralph shoes.
It's literally like an AK-47 with 2 tiny legs on the side of it running, and it's shooting
and
firing while it's running forward.
Yeah, it's amazing. My favorite gun in Borderlands 2
is playing Twisted Metal shit.
It is.
It's a shotgun that like when you run out of ammunition for it, you hurl it and it reloads itself and continues firing at whatever the hell you threw it at while it's flying in the air, and then when it makes it to whatever the hell you threw it at, it will explode.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the future, boys.
Welcome to Borderlands.
Welcome to 2019, boys.
Whatever your wildest gun dreams are, there in this game.
It pretty much exists. A gun that shoots knives that shoots guns.
Anywho.
Right.
Onto a more mature wine tasting version of the podcast.
Get out of that shit.
The Mueller report was released a couple of days ago.
Sorry.
Didn't exactly confirm what everybody wanted it to, which is fair. I mean, it's an investigation, so it's not necessarily going to be partisan. It hasn't been ruled no collusion. It's just been ruled that
there's not enough evidence to support that conclusion.
Exactly. And so everybody's up in arms right now, like, oh well, it takes him off the hook. Really, if you're a Democrat, Republican, whatever, if you're a Democrat, you should really get off of this collusion thing and get onto issues.
You should focus on issues,
because you've got a year and a half or less than that
to start getting ready.
Getting ready. And then if you're a Republican, I guess there's some. I mean, not even Republican. If you're a Trump conservative, then I'm sure you're different than the rest of the conservatives.
Well, I'll say this: if you're a Trump conservative, you need to really
probably also not listening to this podcast.
Oh, probably
not. But if you happen to be listening,
kind of like me right now,
pay attention to what Trump said earlier in his campaign when he said that in today's modern society, pre-existing conditions for healthcare are a must. Right. So he talked about changing Obamacare, but keeping pre-existing conditions. Whereas now, after the Mueller report comes out, word is they're going to get rid of it entirely, right?
Right.
Pre-existing conditions and all. So this is going to heavily affect the working class people, the people that put them into office.
Yeah.
People that have diabetes, right? Diabetes is the largest like pre-existing condition that makes it really hard. Yeah, the sugars. That makes it hard.
Yeah, the sugar detail.
That makes it hard. That's what people call it. Mississippi, Alabama.
Yeah, it's the sugars.
Yeah, the sugars.
The sugars?
The sugars.
Yeah, it's real.
Yeah, it's real.
You got a case of the sugars?
You got the case of the sugars. It's a serious deal, man. Insulin costs money. All those little testing the little blood strips to test everything.
Changes your life.
Yeah.
The anti-sugars.
It's expensive. Lots of money going. We'll see.
Yeah. And so, like, it's looking into that.
He's got the Willy Wonkas.
If you supported him from a farming standpoint, I mean, all you've done is seen your costs go up. So it's like, I don't entirely... Like,
he's also defunding the Special Olympics. Like...
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see where things are going, right? The market has slowly been increasing. There's been some more fluctuations. Earlier this week, Monday, the U.S. Treasury note for bonds, they took a little bit of a plummet, kind of getting people scared about a possible recession, which has been happening. Talks have been happening for a year. There haven't been any U.S. trade talks, so we're not exactly sure where that is. That's kind of the reason why growth is still happening. We're not exactly sure, though, when it's going to stop. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, this is what gets me every time we go through these situations is that there's this cyclical blame. Like, when the economy is good, you get a president in who fucks it up, and then it tanks, and the economy has to be raised back up by the next president. And usually, the president who raises it back up is a Democrat. Like, usually. I just don't know. Like, I don't know why you. I mean, I'm not gonna get too political on this podcast.
Then stop.
But at the same time, I don't know. It's just a lot. Yeah.
No, but we'll see. We'll see. I mean, there's other things going on. You know, they're still working with the 737 Maxes,
Right.
figuring out that situation. They're landing. Yeah, they're not taking off anymore. They got to figure out these bugs. There's been major oversights by the private like airline companies with this and trading for their pilots, and investigation has to be settled. Unfortunately, people that are going to get cut are going to be the software engineers at the bottom, right? No major head's going to be taking a hit. And we'll see.
Situation.
We'll see.
So now that we've got 2 people falling asleep and probably the entire crowd falling asleep, we can go ahead and move on from this subject. Nate, that's the most political thing Nate has heard probably in 10 years, maybe more.
That's a fair estimate.
You're right.
Well, just a slice of news. You know, things are.
Not everything is Borderlands 3 guns with legs.
Should be.
Right.
Maybe it should be.
Yeah.
All right, let's dip into it. Topic everybody can get into. What are your pet peeves?
Yeah, everybody's got something that.
My pet peeve is people with pet peeves.
And my pet peeves are people that cut me off while I'm talking.
All good.
Got him. I mean, perfectly timed.
Yo, you want smoke today, though? Nah, because you've been coming at me kind of greasy the entire day. Do you have a problem, nigga?
Oh, well, you parked on my lawn, dog.
Yeah, it's like you've been coming on me greasy, bro.
Nah, you just.
Yeah, it's like what the hell's going on?
That is-
we might have to cut this podcast off and get to work.
In all honesty, that's pretty bold, man. When you park on somebody's lawn,
The nigga told me to come in here with the all 4-wheel drive, and all I heard was Mick giggles in the background. Like,
Bro, that's an assertive ass move. Like you all up in my territory.
Yeah, it's like, I wouldn't have done it if I knew it'd do damage. At the same time, I was like, nigga, you want it so bad. You want the 4-wheel drive. Use your 4-wheel drive.
Yeah, but you having that beef with Nate.
Huh?
Elvin doesn't
I heard you giggling in the background, nigga.
That was me giggling.
You sounded like it. You
No,
sounded
that
like
wasn't
Mike.
me.
Exactly. It's like there's a very distinct difference between the way you laugh and the way Mike laughs.
You do a donut on the lawn.
I haven't in a while.
You trenched his lawn?
That was
And they don't even take care of the lawn. That's not your job, nigga. That's the nigga who owns the house job.
You still gotta look at it, though.
Huh?
You still gotta look at it.
Fuck you.
no. Well, let's get back to pet peeves, right?
Wow.
Like, yeah.
Sometimes you gotta hit Nate with some heat.
Seems like a lot.
to put him back in line. Sometimes Nate gets out of control.
I'm hearing lots of aggression. Let's just get back to the pet peeves, guys.
All right, let's get. My pet peeve is Nate. Oh,
That's rough.
that was
really rough.
That was kind of hurt a little bit.
That was too much.
But you know, like pet peeves are people have them. We all have pet peeves. It's just sometimes hard to like come up with them on the spot, right? Like if someone asks you, at least when I get
People that don't wash their hands in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's good enough.
that's a good one.
I saw a dude maybe 2 weeks ago take a shit and would just walk straight out. And I was like, no, I can't allow this. I'm not shaking. I told everybody I saw. I said, do not shake that man's hand.
You should have told him.
Fuck him.
Damn, I would have. If you were that mad, I would have
No,
said it to him.
let him get E. coli when he eats his burger with
I
them
guess,
nasty
but at the
ass
same
hands.
time, like you don't know. Some people might not be thinking about it. If you were that mad about it, I would have let him know.
You weren't thinking about your own McDoo-doo hand?
Huh?
I mean, the dude's got McDoo-doo hand and just walked out.
Well, some people just don't think. Like I've seen people walk out of the bathroom after taking a dump and been startled. Like, I'm just like, wait, what the? Like you just took a dump, bro. Like you just gonna walk out? But if it bugged
Excuse me, sir. You
I'm
gonna
like,
wash your hands?
if it bugged you enough to tell other people about it, I would have started by telling him. I'd have been like, yo,
This there was no helping this man. It would have gone straight in one ear, out the other.
You know what really
Grinds my gears.
peeves me, gets me hot under the collar?
Hot under
when
the
people
collar.
call you American Mexican.
No. I just joke around about that. It's okay. People have their opinions. I know what I am.
People have their facts.
Opinions. No, it's when I buy a nice pair of new shoes, right? I take them out, first day out on the streets, you know, walking on the sidewalk, enjoying my fucking day. And there's always that asshole that like steps on. Oh, that's the fucking one. Just steps on a new shoe accidentally.
How often does that happen to people?
Well, it happens at church. It happens when you're like, you know, going to a new place. You happen to have good shoes on. Everybody's stomping around out. Like, what if they happen to be white shoes? Like, watch where you fucking walk.
Oof.
Isn't that the worst? When they get you, when they notch that edge of that new shoe, you're like, these are fucking new shoes.
Fuck.
And sometimes like a little kid doesn't know any better. You're like, look at this kid like that.
And then you palm that kid's head like a basketball and pick him up eye level.
Yeah, get your nasty ass foot off of me.
Bruh.
Your grimy ass clothes.
Lay him down, step on his chest.
Yeah, that's why I don't.
Oh. Use him as a doormat. Good golly, Miss Molly.
You flip, you take your shoe off, you're just sitting there like, wiping the
church person.
Give him a noogie with the shoe. Let's see how you like it. Holy.
I gotta shine this thing back to mirror shine. Give me that hair.
Yeah. Or like when you're walking on like a busy sidewalk and someone clips the back heel of your shoe.
Oh, and then your foot comes out of the shoe.
Yeah, like
What's the flat tire?
What the fuck, man?
Yeah, think of how close you gotta be to
Right. This is fucking Atlanta. This ain't New York.
Give me some room. Grab him by the face.
Bro, that really.
You grab him by like the cheeks?
Yeah, like give me some room, and then mush him back.
Yo, man, you mush somebody, that's grounds for squaring off.
Yeah, man, that's a fight. Yeah, that's a fair one.
Bro, yeah, messing with new shoes or new clothes. If someone like we're eating at dinner and someone like sprinkles like some sauce on a new shirt. Like,
how often does this happen to you?
no, it doesn't
How
happen
often do you
often.
have new clothes?
A lot of the time. But it doesn't.
Maybe that's why I don't experience this.
Yeah, I honestly can't remember the last time somebody stepped in my shoes.
Bruh. That's why I don't wear. That's why I don't wear new shoes at church or out and about until I enjoy them. They're control situations.
And he's got the bagger bat shoes on.
You got the new shoes in Ziploc bags. So you can walk around confidently.
The bagger bats 11s.
Comes with the new hobo stick.
The bindle.
Oh fuck, dude!
Oh my gosh.
No, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that often. But like the times that it happens, it just really annoys.
It's
me.
frustrating.
Oh my god.
Because it's one of those things. It doesn't happen that often, but the one time it happens a year,
It's
I'm just
enough.
sitting there like, what the fuck?
That's fair.
Is it just because people are stupid? Because I walked into so at the self checkout lines at like let's say like a Kroger or something. Like last week, I walked in. This girl was checking out whatever she was checking out at the self checkout line. Walked in, walked down the aisle, found what I was gonna get, walked back, checked out, got my shit, got into my car. She was still checking out. She had 6 items. How long does it take to ring up a bell pepper? Yeah. Is it that hard to find?
I know. People and technology is kind of hard to watch sometimes.
I was like, oh, she has a basket full of items. No. She had 2 bags worth of items. Max.
Jeez.
Granted, I only had one thing. I was buying a roll of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah, that is frustrating. Or when like you're in line and people try to start to walk up on you while you're self-checking out. It's like, dude, I move fast enough. Back up. Like, give me a second. Like, I'm not a
stiff arm
slow.
them?
Yeah, I'm not a slow checkout person. So it's like, just give me a second. You don't have to be pressed up on me.
Hey, what you doing?
Yeah, do you want to pay for my groceries?
Exactly. Yeah, right.
Slide your Visa card in there, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, if you want to be this close, you pay for
Go
my
ahead and pay,
groceries. Yeah, talk to me. Pay for my groceries.
You want a date?
Right. You trying to smash? So you gonna pay my phone bill too now? What's going on?
Damn.
Yeah, man.
That's fair. All right, who next?
I think the thing that bothers me the most is people that just don't use turn signals. I can't stand that shit.
Yeah, it is. Especially when they like merge close to you. Like if they like merge into your lane super close, but they don't.
You can tell when they're about to do it too.
Yeah.
Oh,
people
yeah.
Position themselves in a way. Yeah.
Yeah, and that'd be the worst because like you can tell like I know you're trying to get over. Just tell me you're trying to get over.
Right, and I will do it. But you not doing it.
Yeah, you not telling me that you're trying to get over makes me not want to help you get
Makes
over.
me wish I was driving the clown car from Twisted Metal.
Right. So push you in the wall.
Or I was driving that thing where it's just the guy on 2 giant wheels like this.
Yeah, that's the one. 3, right?
Yes.
Is that the Vesuvian Man? What is it? Like the old picture of like.
It's Da Vinci.
Da Vinci's.
It's Da Vinci's something man. The Vesuvian Man or something.
That doesn't matter. That's too smart for us anyways.
Mount Vesuvius. You're confused with Mount Vesuvius, right?
It's the Pompeii Man.
Yeah.
No.
No.
We gonna let this go, man.
The Mount Vesuvian Man.
I think my pet peeve is
Vitruvian, by the way.
Vitruvian, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Like random. That's gonna sound weird, but like if a random loud noise goes off, it'll like piss me off like immediately. And I don't know what it is psychologically.
Like that?
Like if someone not like it's weird. Like it's like if the noise isn't consistently loud, if it just comes out of nowhere and it's really loud, and not like a scary, startling kind of loud, just like a snap of a sound, and it's just like really loud, it'll just piss me off.
Like a firework going off in the middle of the afternoon?
Or something like that. Like, it's just like, if it's just like a sound like that, it'll just piss me off, and then...
You hulk out, your eyes get red.
And then like random things. Like, I feel like I'm the one that's kind of random, where it's like my pet peeves will change day to day, and so like it'll be random little things that people do that'll piss me off.
Yeah, that's what a pet peeve is.
No, I mean, but it's not like people have consistent ones. Like, people tend to have ones that are like pretty established. Mine will happen just randomly, and maybe that speaks to my psychology.
So you just have mood swings, what you're saying?
Huh?
You just have mood swings, what you're saying?
Maybe. And that might just be it. It might be random, because like I think my mood is consistent 90% of the time, and then there's 10% where I'll just randomly be fucking mad.
The mood, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just like, I don't know, and it doesn't make sense. It's like, it's not like anything random happened. It's just I'm now annoyed for no.
When your shoe comes untied, and then as soon as it comes untied, you walk into a puddle. So now your shoelace is all wet.
Fuck, dude.
And you have socks on.
Wet socks.
Wet socks.
Oh my god.
Wet socks blow.
Yeah,
wet socks blow.
It's just weird because wet feet aren't a problem.
No.
Wet socks are. Like,
Because your feet dry in a couple minutes.
Yeah. The wet socks are.
They're just moist.
And every time you walk here, then
Yeah.
Yeah, my socks get wet. That's it. Taking them off immediately. I can't.
you can't walk barefoot in your shoe.
Yeah.
Like,
That also feels very weird.
Because your foot's going to start sticking to it.
When it's a wet shoe, when your wet foot's like...
Oh.
Yeah.
But you mean like normally?
Well, yeah, your foot's going to start sweating
You're
eventually.
gonna sweat, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean...
Then it starts sticking to the sole, then you take your foot out, and the whole sole comes out of the shoe.
Or sometimes there's like... I don't know, I guess... Yeah, it's just weird.
Maybe some weird shit happening with y'all.
The fuck you trying to say?
I don't know, maybe it's just different for y'all.
What do you mean?
What do you mean, y'all?
You know exactly what I mean.
I don't.
I don't know.
Weirdos.
Okay, alright.
Right? Stands up and walks out of the room. That's it for the podcast.
Let's stop recording now.
I'll see you boys next week.
Right?
Next month.
Maybe.
He's not wrong.
I hate it when original members of the crew don't show up for 2 months.
That's my pet peeve. When people who are supposed to be here suddenly magically can't be here, even though they have all the time in the world.
But I don't have all the time in the world.
What were you doing? Oh, you didn't have a job, so you weren't doing anything the day.
No, I had a job. I've had a job all month.
What were you doing the month before that, though?
Life was rough.
As he trails off,
Life was rough. I just was going to breweries and hanging out and chilling on the weekdays and going to watch movies and
hanging out in the barrio.
No, man,
hanging out in the barrio.
I was looking for employment. You know, it was the market's tough.
The market's tough.
Going on interviews and
get off the stage.
Hard hitting with Eddie Sanchez.
Right. Get off the stage.
You know, I was also homeless for a little bit. You know, couch surfing here and there. And
You know,
here and there. Bro, you were a couch beach ball.
I'm writing that down.
yeah, it's tough, man.
I appreciate Eddie's commitment to
the lie.
To the lie. Like, I appreciate it. Because Eddie's like, look, y'all not going to shake what I just said.
You want to talk about commitment to the lie? Bro, we stopped back off at our office at work. Just randomly, like 2 weeks ago, because I had the day off, Mike had the day off, and we were headed in that area anyway. And so I was like, you know what, let's stop back by the old office. Somebody at work asked my man, hey, so you were over at Washington State University, right? Because the lie he told at our office is that the reason why he quit is because he went back to school at Washington State.
Bro.
And so somebody asked, was like, how was school at Washington State? And he was like, yeah, I transferred. He's doing this live. Like, it's like live TV. And I'm standing next to him listening to each and every word, like, nigga, oh my god. This nigga's blatantly lying to them, bro. Like, and I'm talking about, like, crafty. Like, it wasn't just like, oh, I transferred, blah, blah, blah. It was like, yeah, I transferred over, the winters were cold, but it was like, this nigga got the whole environment.
The winters were cold. The rain was too much.
Bro, he went full Christopher Nolan Inception, bro. It was just like, you know, let's craft the whole lie while we're at it. Don't just give him a piece of the lie. Give him the world the lie was crafted in.
Yeah, you give enough to make it real.
Right.
And then you start. Yeah.
It's like,
things are good.
And I'm standing next to him talking to somebody else, and I was like, this nigga here.
Ain't telling one word of truth.
Exactly. Not only did he lie in the first place, he then crafted a lie bound by the other lie. Like I was like,
So now he's got multiple lies that are
this
compounding.
nigga can't be trusted.
Spiderweb of lies.
Spiderweb of lies.
Which thus goes to prove once again that if you're confident about it, you can get away with a lot of shit.
That's life in general. You can do whatever you want.
People believe he's at Washington State right now.
Or people believe that he was at Washington. They thought he like graduated from Washington.
Now they know he's transferred over to.
Yeah, and it's like, and then I came back down and transferred over to the CDC. It was like, oh my god, this nigga.
My dude.
I mean, if you wear a blue shirt, walk into Walmart and run around like you know what you're talking about, somebody will definitely stop you and ask you where the electronics section is.
In all fairness, though, it is Walmart.
I mean, that should happen in Target if you got the right
You
shirt
wear
on.
khakis and red shirt, yeah.
Yeah, if you put on khakis and a red shirt at Target, then you've worn the.
You got a clipboard? No, and you got a clipboard. You're sitting there like walking around like you're like jotting notes down.
Why are you walking around with a clipboard?
You're a manager.
No, like just regular person.
No, I'm saying if you wanted to.
There was that dude who was stealing pallets of beer that way. He dressed like an employee, like the people who drop off beer, and he brought in one of those big forklift, those carts,
yeah,
cart lifts, and he
pallet jack,
and he loaded it full of beer and walked out with it. And I could have sworn he did it more than once.
Oh yeah, dude, because people will believe. Yeah,
there's a story right now of Facebook and Google where they lost something like $120 million because they were getting scammed via invoices. People were sending them random invoices.
Yes,
they were real enough to where people were like, "That sounds about right," and were signing off on it. They lost $120 million to that,
which isn't anything for them, but it happens
because
pennies
to them. Yeah.
It happens because these companies are so massive.
They cannot
audit everything. They don't even know the CEO, of both companies. Don't know exactly where all the money's going. You know what I mean?
You can't.
The company's going, you know what the major projects are, but you have no fucking idea.
Yeah. It's like $3 billion company sees an invoice for like $5,000. What the fuck do they care?
They don't give a fuck. Yeah, so they're just shelling out the money.
Yeah, you could probably get your student loans paid if you invoice right way. If you invoice the right way and be like, listen, like here's my
Facebook's paying my bills.
Fuck it. The mistake they made was going for $120 million. They should have stopped well before that.
Oh yeah, just stop. Yeah, just.
But that's the issue with everything.
Well,
they go too far.
Yeah, because it works.
Well, because once you do it once and it works, you're just like, well, let's see how far I can push the envelope, and like eventually you push the envelope too far,
but
and
you gotta have your number.
You gotta have that number, and then you walk out.
Yeah. It's the same with gambling. You don't gamble until you're out of house and home. Like you have to have
a number in your head. Yeah.
What is your number?
That if I were scamming a company that big, my number would have been 50 million. Once you hit 50 million, even if I'd gotten that far, once you had hit 50 million, it's up and out and gone. Leave the country, leave the everything.
You know, I would have been okay with just 12.5.
Why
12.5? Not sure, but that number in my head sounded reasonable.
Honestly,
for them not to give a fuck. You know, a $12.5 million buyout for them is that's like 12.
It depends on the invoice though. Like, because I think what got them might have been what the numbers were when they first did it. Like, if you opened and your first invoice was like $1 million, some arbitrary number that you thought would never work, and that shit worked, your number is going to be way higher.
Yeah,
but like if your first invoice was like 50,000, 60,000, and they comply without even asking, then it'd have been like, yeah, my number's gonna be way lower than that. Like, it's gonna be like, so I would do like, I think at max, knowing what they were probably going with, I might have done like a 10 million.
Yeah, I think it would have been just like 12, around in the teens, early, in the low teens,
yeah,
in terms of office supplies.
Yep, and then
like
they market it, because it's enough to where it's not even worth pursuing. It's a company, so you want to keep it low enough to where it's not enough for them to chase you down.
Right.
Like 10 million is enough to be like, that's too much legal work and too much bad press for us to even chase this person down. Like, I'm just gonna leave this alone, basically. And then you make yourself hard enough to find, then eventually they'll just completely leave you alone.
That's sort of the bitch of it, though, is you get this money, but then, like, for the rest of your life, you're making yourself hard to find, or you can't come back to America,
that's
or you're
the
trying
issue.
to hide.
It's the covering up of the money, right? Because then you have to create a couple of shell companies to put this money in. And then you have to physically.
Do you have to do that, or can you just
also
put your money away in a Swiss, like in a bank account somewhere?
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's not like that anymore nowadays. I think the only couple places are like maybe Dominican Republic, maybe
Panama. I think
Panama's got a couple of accounts, but even then,
next thing you know, you're flying to all these different fucking countries to get your money out of the bank.
So then you gotta do all these travel fees, and like, how much are you gonna report a year? You know, of your own earnings, and like.
Then you're like Wesley Snipes, and you have no tax returns and all that shit.
You can't live in the
And
U.S.
honestly,
You gotta
the
go
U.S.
live
will
out.
give you. I feel like the U.S. to a great extent will let you slide if you are paying taxes. Like a lot of the reason why these people get caught is because they don't pay taxes.
Oh yeah, no, you have
And so
to.
if you just pay your taxes, like because like you legally, if you make money off of selling weed, you have to report that to taxes. If I remember right.
Some of that's legal now.
Huh?
Yeah.
Some, but like in Atlanta, you can't just sell weed on the street. You know what I mean? Like
You can.
I mean, you can, but illegally.
Well, it's like you have to have you make an LLC, right? And then you have to have a company. You make all these fake
Weed
like
Boys LLC.
you make all these fake like sales and then losses, and then you report like X
Weed
amount.
Boys LLC.
Well, think about all the
You label it
companies-
as a cash company too,
Right.
so you're only making cash.
Listen, like, think of all the companies off of Buford we know for a fact gotta be running drugs and money and laundering money straight
Yeah,
to them.
they report just enough where things don't flag, and
yeah.
then you keep going.
And keep it moving. That's the way you play the game, is to just do enough to get by. Like, don't be extra about it. You'll never get caught.
But see, that's the difference. Like, I don't see them balling out like NFL players.
True.
Like when it's
you can't walk around with a mink on.
right.
And,
Because when it's 100% clean money, you acting a fool. You're out there like, hey, and but like when it's not like
it's dirty money, you gotta cover up.
you
Like,
still look like normal Joe, but you got like money, and you're sitting
Yeah,
there like,
you know, you go home and then it's just like your house looks regular, but then you got like a basement full of extra shit.
yeah.
You do the Gus Fring. You still own the chicken joint.
Right. Or maybe you could be showy, but the issue is that you cannot be on anybody's radar showy.
you gotta be showy outside of the U.S.
Or you can be showy here, but like the issue is that like if
You
you're
know,
like,
better see you.
huh?
Nobody
Well,
better see
say,
you.
but who's seeing you?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Is like who is seeing you. So like the issue is like you can live your life normally. Like it's just that you just need to be financially not on anybody's radar. Because who the fuck's checking for you?
Well, no, I mean, look, did you ever see American Gangster with Denzel?
Yeah.
So that's a real story, and they interviewed the guy.
Yeah.
And they said the only mistake he made in his entire life was wearing a mink coat to the boxing match because nobody knew anything about this guy. He wore nice suits, custom, probably $1,000 suits.
Yeah, but you can't. Yeah,
You can't really tell from far away. But his wife gave him like a mink, whatever the fuck gave him for his birthday.
went to that boxing match. Yeah,
And everyone's like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Next thing you know, life in prison.
Yep.
He was slinging dope in the Bronx.
and that's another mistake, right? Like if you go to a high-profile boxing match and you happen to buy tickets like front row, like courtside tickets.
That's what I mean. Is like that's your mistake. Is that if you're walking around your day-to-day life doing this, nobody gives a fuck because they don't know you. But if you're at a high-profile basketball, like first off, who the fuck is this dude? Not just the mink. The mink ain't really the issue.
This one was.
I mean, maybe, but like,
Who's this guy courtside?
Exactly. That's the issue.
At the Golden
It's
State
like,
game finals.
If you're wearing a mink somewhere else, like in the crowd, that's different. But if you're in the front row of that match where there's celebrity, who the fuck is this celebrity?
Yeah.
Celebrity? Like, they don't
it's
make
like
sense.
question mark.
Right.
What?
Exactly.
What?
One of these things is
Why
not
is
like the other.
Why is that guy wearing a solid gold helmet?
Yeah, bro, that's like you sitting there like.
But that's kind of
watching-
the fun of being like having the money to be able to do the courtside business. And
Yeah, that's like we watching the finals, the NBA final, and it's Beyonce, and right next to Beyonce is like Madonna, and then in between the two of them is some random dude in a plaid shirt.
Or it's
and,
just me
tucking
sitting there.
pants. Yeah, like, and it's like, and the
Who's this
only
guy?
thing you give a fuck about is who the fuck is that dude? Like, it's like, and how is he sitting between them and talking with them? Like, it's just like, not only is he sitting between them, and he's got like he's got like a short sleeve dress shirt. And,
I'm just sitting there like enjoying.
and Ace, or not Asics, but them white Nikes that dads wear.
The New Balance?
Yeah,
The
the
New Balances.
white New Balances. And he's sitting between Beyonce and Madonna talking to them.
The Janitor 2000s?
And you know they clean as hell. So who is
Bro,
this
that's
dude?
even calling more attention if you start wearing New Balances.
What?
Who's this New Balance?
Yeah, exactly. What really got him, he said the mink. I believe that, but I think what really got him more than that
Is
was
ringside.
is ringside seats.
Yeah, like the mink definitely like raises some eyebrows, but like
It could be a fake mink. It
yeah,
could be
like
anything.
if you're like in the nosebleeds, no one's gonna believe that mink is real.
Exactly.
But if you're sitting right there next to everybody else, $20,000 ticket seats. Oh,
That mink is real.
And it's either you're slapping five with Joe Lewis.
Right,
Who the fuck
exactly.
is this guy?
yeah, Rolex. Yeah, like oh yeah, I got the new oyster.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're talking with these people in the
Yeah.
front row. Like that's such a dumb like. You would think
As a criminal,
as a
that's
criminal,
the
that's
mistake,
your mistake. Yeah.
But that's the mistake that most criminals make.
Right.
Because that's what you want. You want the money to have these experiences, right? Like,
course.
why am I going to watch the finals game on TV when I can be sitting there watching it live?
But you know what? think about for everyone that gets caught. Think about all the
There's
ones
the
that
ones that
don't
don't
get caught that
yeah.
live their whole life and never get caught. Like
Pablo Escobar style.
yeah, like there are a lot of that we know of because they spend their time in the media. But think about all the thieves, and thieves ain't just people who live in the underworld. Thieves are hedge fund managers.
Oh, dude,
like
yeah.
think of all the thieves that
that's a whole different.
exactly that live in plain view that never get caught.
They get caught.
I mean, high enough up they get caught.
Yeah, but even when they do get caught,
exactly. And
what are we
you're
gonna
so
do? We're gonna settle.
Right.
We're gonna cover this up because it's embarrassing to the company.
You're so high up, like all that's gonna happen is you're gonna get cut from the company, maybe, and then like you might give a slight fine.
That's
You're
gonna
sell
be
your
a
second house in the Hamptons.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh no, what you gonna buy back in a year because you're gonna make that money all the way.
Because you're gonna get another job somehow, like also making millions, and it's
like that.
Yeah,
So
you'll be fine with your nice million. Like
so we look at like these things as that like. Whenever we think of crime, I feel like in general we think of an underworld. We don't think about the like above world, yeah, like where it's like we always look down for it, and we never really look up. Like it's like there's a lot of theft at the top.
everybody
A
does.
lot.
Yeah, everybody's doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Everybody's doing it, guys.
Everybody's doing
No,
it.
but it is. It happens at all levels, all stages. It just does.
you can't blame people. People are just a product of where they were, like where they grew up in. Like that's all they are. And so when you live in that excess, you're gonna breed that kind of
it just
excess.
is what it is.
And if you live in a world where there's a deficit, you're gonna breed that.
You really have something to say there, Black Mike.
Well, I was just thinking to myself, I was like, I mean, theft happens on all levels. I mean, there are people that are stealing churros from Taco Bell. Like,
Tell us, Prince of Bandits.
Why would you rob a Taco Bell?
It's already so cheap.
Right, it's almost unnecessary. You could just go in there with a handful of quarters and play them games and get all the food you need.
How about to say you didn't have to steal? You don't have to rob Taco
Steal,
Bell.
bro. They still have a
but
game.
I mean, like that's the thing, though. Like, you don't have to, but people are. Like, people. Like, I mean, like, people steal from Target, people steal from Walmart, people steal from Best Buy, people steal from literally fucking anywhere you can fucking imagine. And it doesn't have to be anything expensive. I mean, like, little children steal candy bars from gas stations. Like,
Oh yeah, under $20 they won't prosecute. It's not worth it. Even up to honestly $200.
So like,
Not that we endorse stealing.
No,
like,
no one endorses it.
A little bit of stealing for the thrill. All right, my bad. All right,
rewind this whole conversation. Stealing is not good, and we do not endorse this at all.
Right.
But like, there are people out there that just fucking like stuff their pockets full of shit. And like Elvin said a second ago, like some people do it because there is a thrill in it. It's just like, oh man, can I get away with this? I don't know. And then like some people do it and they get away with it, and they're just like, then they become addicted to the thrill, and that's how you end up with people that are like, all right, well, let's see how far I can push that envelope.
That's what I say about like serial killers, right? Is that serial killers, the thrill is not the kill, is getting caught. Like the thrill is staying right out of the way of getting caught. And so
I think Elvin told me the story about the guy. It was like a Best Buy, and like he knew where all the cameras were, and they show like the video recording of this guy who's walking really weird in relation to the cameras. And he's like, he's always facing the camera. What the fuck's going on? You see this guy like walking like straight backwards,
yeah,
but his arms don't move, and he turns to the side to go to the door. And he's holding a 50-inch flat screen.
it's hilarious.
So all you see is this guy's arm straight down, but he's got the flat screen in between his arm and his body, so you can't see it.
Yeah, people do it. Like people do it for the sport of it. Like people,
The thrill of the kill.
Yeah, people will steal just because it's a sport. They don't care about the item that they're taking. They just know that it's valuable, and they know there's a high risk, high reward. And that's what draws people. It's the same as killing. It's the same as like
Shouldn't be pretty well informed on the subject.
flips table.
Interesting.
Shows up randomly the next week with a mink on in a boxing match. What has he been doing? A couple things. Yeah.
This is Ming brought to you by the Pumpernickel podcast.
Right.
Oh, what's left of it?
I'm not gonna lie. If I saw you with a gold watch or something expensive, I have some questions.
Yeah, because it's outside of my personality.
Yeah.
But if I show up with like gold-toed shoes and like a gold mink, holy crap!
No, if you
Y'all boys ain't got this.
bro, if you showed up with like gold tip shoes, I'd also have questions.
I'd have more questions if you had gold tip shoes than if you showed up at the bank.
Yeah,
I'd have way more questions.
You know they sell those, right?
Yeah, but you're not wearing them.
That's true.
Yeah, but if you wore them, I'd be like, what are you doing though?
I do a lot of things.
Like I wouldn't judge. I'd be like,
you judge.
I feel like if Eddie showed up with like gold tip shoes, though, I'd be like, that's just Eddie.
Yes.
Yeah, and you can slide with it.
Because I could see you showing up with those like the ones from Breaking Bad where the guys got tips that are just like skulls.
Yeah.
I can see you showing up with those, and I'd probably be like, yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, if you show up with an ostrich, with some ostrich boots on, then I've been like, yep,
I'm about right.
yeah, that's 100% right.
That's cool.
Yeah, and by judging, I would judge, but the judgment would be more like questioning about like how about you slice.
If you showed up here with like a plain white t-shirt and like shorts,
I would have extreme questions.
what happened? How was life going, dog?
But I'm really comfortable. Like
Yeah,
they're just like,
I'm feeling good, man.
No glasses.
we got LASIK surgery done. It's been good.
You got a mohawk?
Huh?
You got a mohawk?
Mohawk?
What happened?
There it is.
What
happened?
Elvis shows up with spinning rims on his FJ.
And on that note,
I think we've deviated enough.
we've wild out. That was a good
one,
comeback. You know what I mean? A little bit of a comeback.
Sometimes things feel right.
It can always be better. It can always be better. They stop hating.
But it was good.
It was good.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. It's been another great episode of the Pumpernickel Podcast.
Follow us on Pumpernickel Podcast.
You don't even fucking know.
You don't even remember where we are.
.com.
You fucking scumbag.
Pumpernickelpodcast.com is our website.
Yup.
What's our Twitter handle?
Mr. Pumpernickel Pod.
No.
At Pumpernickel Pod.
Yes.
That's right. And
What's the email address?
pumpernickelpodcast@gmail.com.
Very good. You get a treat.
And on that note, y'all, have a great week. Take care.